Oh my god, guys. I had the worst experience lately. I think I'll be okay eventually. Oh gosh, grab a drink. Look at the time counter, see if you need something. I need a drink here. 1 second, please. Woo. Here, dude is upset. Oh, you guys know that I've been with the channel. I'm pansexual and gender fluid, and her dude just started to wail and cry. As a man, I was just on the floor sobbing inside internally, but still confused and sobbing and wondering why this woman hates so much. Um, I have a certain book that I've been talking about the last couple of days, about women and wolves and everything, and 2020 has woke something in a lot of us. Let's admit it, we are completely different beings than we were even back in 2019. Most of us are, anyways. And, there were things I was noticing in this book I never noticed before, but I got to the story of what men are. Do you know what men are? Men are dogs. That is when the inner dude decided to surface and was like, "No, why am I a dog?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm confused." And then you're shifting. If you're gender fluid, you're between being female, nothing at all, and male. And all three parts are freaking out because this is just wrong. Why are women wolves and men are dogs? I don't understand. And inner dude just starts sobbing because he just wants to help people and love people and be nice. And how come he has to be this kind of man? Why can't he choose what he is? So inner dude is sobbing on the floor. Inner no gender at all is like, the hell is going on with him? He's a man, he got hurt. Why? Well, he's told he can only be one thing. This is the one true way to be for a woman to accept you. And intergenderless is holding their head rather like, this is fucking stupid. And inner female, biologically born female, is thinking, the fuck just happened? And it was one of those moments that I realized this book is from the 90s and she stayed there. It's just 2020 has changed so much of how we see things. I couldn't go on because it felt like every goddess, as I read about her, was giving me a ping back, and it wasn't a nice one. It was like an ominous one from a creepypasta about the other internet, and I was like, oh shit. And, the gods were of no help, and the goddesses couldn't do anything either, because I really wasn't having this discussion with anyone. That inner dude is on the floor sobbing because he's a dog, and he just loves people, and I thought dogs were good, and man's best friend. And I'm like, I don't know. It's a story, I guess she thinks is, I don't know, everything a man should be, and a man should be a man who has a dog who goes and spies on these two girls, and this is already sounding sketchy today when I'm saying it in the daylight. And he gets their names, and he's on his way back, and he sees meat. This meat smells good. And he eats the meat. You don't have to be particularly bright to pick up the metaphors. And he forgets who the fuck these girls are, so he runs back and he checks them out again. He's a dog, and he's running back, and he smells nutmeg, and he goes and he eats a pie. Oh my fucking god, he eats a pie. The metaphor just walks up and smacks you in the face, doesn't it? Then he's like, oh shit, I forgot their names. He runs back again. And I swear I'm not high, but finally letting the psychic crazies out feels good. And he gets her names a third time, and he's running back, and this guy, and I can't believe she wrote this. I won't even say how she describes him. This dude, I think I know how she meant it, but it wouldn't read that way in 2020. This dude jumps out and grabs the dog, and is shaking the ever-loving fuck out of this dog, going, tell me the names! Tell me the names! How the fuck he knew this dog was getting the names, I don't know. And the dog bites him. And the dog scares him off, and the dog goes and tells the dudes the names, and just because he remembered their names, the guy gets a girl. So I'm like, what the hell? This is a pretty fucking low entry point. You knew their names and that's how you got them? Oh my god. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, given what a lot of women complain about and given how some guys don't even remember a woman's name, though some women are just as bad and all genders could be just as guilty. I'm like, yeah, I could see how the story resonated with her. But, it's one of those things of it's just a book of its time. And although I appreciated how hard it is to read because there's something about overly academic books I do genuinely like, it tells women there's only one way to be a woman. And even though she then goes on to say, no, I meant to say you can be whatever you want, you can't. It has something to do with having ovaries and something to do with running around buck naked and something to do with being a wolf. And this really put a lot of women off. I'd gone on to read reviews on Reddit and reviews on Amazon and reviews by professional book reviewers because I just couldn't get to what I didn't like. And I was like, well, I know there's not going to be anyone out there that's pansexual and gender fluid, and I still haven't found them that read it. But men were like, that had read it were like, what actually just went on? And I'm like, that's my inner dudes feeling exactly like what just went on. That, if you are looking to learn a woman's inner mysteries, reflecting on it, even though I've been praising the book the last couple of days, you're not going to learn them because even women couldn't figure out women's inner mysteries, and some women were repelled. Some women don't want to be wolves. They don't want to run around naked howling at the moon while on horseback. That's in there. There's just all this stuff in there that a few women said, was she high when she wrote this? And most of the book clubs that spring up around it, honestly, nobody reads the damn book. They read like a paragraph, some of them, and they're like, I don't understand this. And that's okay. These women aren't stupid. There are people with 2 degrees. Hell, there were people with doctorates that read this thing and are like, I have no fucking idea what she just said. And apparently the audiobook is better if you get it, because you can at least listen to her talk at you, and some people like the sound of her voice, so that's a blessing. But it's definitely a book that 2020 woke up something in us and shifted something in all of us, and we don't think this way. We don't talk about women this way. We don't talk about men this way. We don't talk about gender studies this way. And it is pretentious. It is pretentious. She has the one true interpretation of everything. Maybe she didn't mean it that way, but it does come off that way. And she's another. Funnily enough, I couldn't figure out why I ever liked this book because I realized she has that mistress of the furs habit. The mistress with the furs that we talk about. Of every time she goes somewhere, somebody tells her this great pearl of wisdom. And one reviewer said, oh, please get over yourself. And people talk to me, and I've had strange people tell me stories, and it's in one ear and out the other because it's usually strange, random bullshit that doesn't mean anything. She's the person that if you told the strange, random bullshit to get to, she would pick a great mystical wisdom out of it, and you were just rambling on like a crazy. I'm not sure how long she's gonna live or what kind of guardian she has because, she does stuff that street sense tell you not to. Like, she goes all these strange places and she talks to people you shouldn't talk to. Street sense tells you that if somebody's acting like a raving lunatic, you don't go up to them and say, do you know any good stories? That may not end well for you. You may find great wisdom and you may get hurt. So, it's just, I realized that other people had my problems with this, and I felt good. I honestly thought it was because I've had a couple strokes or I'm just generally dumb that I didn't understand it. And I'd never before really truly accepted Inner Dude and let him out to play as often as I do now. And for me, it's usually not a conscious shift, but when it does happen, when Inner Dude's there, when I am Inner Dude, Inner Dude, he just wants to, as somebody once said on the channel, he sounds like a laid back stoner. He just wants to eat pizza and love everyone. He's not out to dominate women or do anything especially strenuous. He just wants to hang out, chill, and party. To be told that he is a dog and that he is a dog and women are wolves, and he's like, why? I just want to love everybody, hang out with everybody. And inner dude is on the floor crying, and I just realized I just got eviscerated as a man, and I'm like, why? I don't want to do anything to a woman. I'm not that. And so guys might not want to read this book. And there were males that read it, and they said very tartly that, her explanation of folklore shouldn't be put up against the explanations of a actual folklorist, and that this is what's wrong with these Jungian psychologists, that they tend to think their interpretation based on his work is the correct one. You can hear the offended wrinkle now iron. I don't believe him. But I'd never had that reaction before. And I thought you would not get away with this in 2020. She just grabs everyone's gods and goddesses and lumps them all together, and in ways even the most Wiccan would find insulting. And she thinks every goddess is as good as another to plug and play into whatever example she's giving. And that doesn't work, especially with the deaf goddesses, which is the chapter where I completely gave up because they do not like being all lumped together. I was getting these little ominous pingbacks from the deaf goddesses, like, what'd she say? I've been scurrying around and trying to avoid them, and of course the gods, scatter the four winds, and they're not going to help you because the goddesses are angry with you. So I put it down. And I started reading one of these books I got in a book haul last year about this poor kid, and I should have just read this because my mind was trying to nudge me, saying that is the book you want. That is the book you want. And it's about this poor kid that he's half human, half alien, so he feels alienated because this writer's just gonna smack you across the face, so you don't have to work too hard. And he's a genius level intelligence, even though he's only 5. I know it's a trope that we use in way too many science fiction horror stories. I know. And he feels alienated because he's half alien, and everything his father, who is probably not his father, is trying to do for him is not resonating with him because he can't relate to it. He has all these toys he doesn't play with. Now I just started it. And it's supposed to be this journey of this poor child of, something. And I'm like, well, this is going to be interesting because I want to see where a 5-year-old is going to go. Because this is literally a kindergartner. Like, where is he going to go? Is he like going to go on a spaceship? What's going to happen? He's going to need people to drive him everywhere. Is he going to use like mind control? Like usually that's like the default thing in these books that have very very tiny protagonists. They usually also come equipped with mind control so they can get places. They can force adults to drive them places or do something or whatever. But that's actually teaching me a lot more. And inner dude, calm down, stop sobbing. It's like, he's a dude. He's a dude. Yeah, he's a dude. He's okay, right? Yeah, he's okay. Men are bad, are they? No, honey. She just doesn't like them. Why? I don't know. Maybe a man made a bad face at her one time. I get it. I get the author's deal. She writes in, she writes and she deals with as a psychologist with people that have been through violent stuff. But it's also clear she's not overly fond of men unless they act the way she thinks they should act, and they are the one perfect type of men. All the men out there going to give me so much shit. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't write this. One perfect type of man. And then the gods got angry because all the gods who definitely do not fit this perfect man type were looking at me like, what? And Odin's looking at me like, did she just call me a dog? And I'm like, I'm I don't know. And Loki took it well. Loki just laughed and goes, well, I am a dog fox. And you know, he enjoyed the part, and he walked me through the part, and especially enjoyed talking about the fact that the little dog was apparently getting to see these girls buck ass naked. He enjoyed that part. He goes, that's all you need to know about men. Ah. Look, he put it in perspective, and Odin just looked highly offended at the implication. Well, you know, one's more, you know, cerebral than the other. One's very earthy. Not that they can't then flip flop on you and be the exact opposite, but Loki took it in stride. All the other gods have just been looking at me like, I'm a dog, huh? All men are dogs. Is that what you're saying to me? So I'm in Dutch with all the genders today. But Interdude will be okay. I'm going to treat him well today. We'll do whatever Interdude wants to do today. And it's just something that it's natural to me, so I really don't come on and identify with, you know, some kind of pronoun, and I really don't notice it because to me, men, women, no gender at all are all the same. So it's like Interdude could be in control for days or weeks at a time, and none of us would notice the difference. So it's just something. Poor little inner dude, like heard dudes mention and came toddling forward to see what doodliness he was gonna learn about. I have told you guys repeatedly, my inner dude is dumb as a rock, and he, he got his feelings hurt, and I had to talk to myself to explain to the man in me that it's okay. So that was quite the experience. But he will be okay. He will be fine, I think, eventually. We will go watch Doodly stuff. I don't know. We'll watch an action movie and watch shit blow up, and that's not just for dudes. But you guys know what I mean. We'll find something to do that he'll be okay with. We'll eat pizza or something. He'll order a pizza. He'll be happy. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. It was something else, and the look on the face of our beautiful lady, whatever gender you prefer, in front of us is just pretty much the look that every divine being gave me. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.